And with 6 locations across central and eastern Nebraska, we've got you covered, whether you're rooting at home or you're headed to Memorial Stadium. Get a free online quote at EustaceBodyShop.com, and let's get you back in the game.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
Hockey is back, and we need your support at the Icebox. The defending Clark Cup champions are coming to the capital city as the Stars host the Youngstown Phantoms this Friday and Saturday at the Icebox. Don't miss College Night on Friday and your opportunity to catch this cross-conference clash. Lock in your tickets to the action now at LincolnStars.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and man, the October incentives get better. You won't want to miss this. Happening right now at Koppel, you have 0% financing or $6,500 off MSRP on select new half-ton crew cab pickups. Yes, you heard right. Happening right now until the end of the month. 0% financing or $6,500 off sticker price. Those incentives are the best we've seen this entire year. Hurry on in while supplies last. Just take that short money-saving drive down 144th Street or check us out online at KoppelCars.com. You'll be glad you did. All offers include trade-in bonus and with roof credit.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Tanner's Bar and Grill, Vinny Creekat, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Chances are you're a busy person. Chances are you'd rather not drive down to Beatrice for your favorite desserts. Chances are you'd really benefit from a Lincoln location for all of your fruitcake, liqueur cake, and breakfast bread needs. Insert Beatrice Bakery in downtown Lincoln. 1040 O Street, the new 93.7 The Ticket Studios. Just grab a cake out of the cooler, pay at the counter, and you're headed home with the delicious, fruity, nutty, decadent treat of your choice. Beatrice Bakery, online at BeatriceBakery.com or now in downtown Lincoln at 1040 O Street.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Leaves are falling and the temperatures are cooling down. But don't put your golf clubs away. Double Eagle Golf makes golf leagues and events possible year-round. Leagues are underway with winter leagues beginning on November 27th. Check out their deals on monthly memberships and schedule your Husker watch parties, birthday or bachelor parties, corporate and team outings, or just a good old Saturday with the boys. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Book a tee time today or learn more at Double Eagle Golf.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, showers and storms are likely, some of which could be severe this afternoon. Afternoon high should be around 70. Tonight, see showers, storms likely and windy, a low around 43. And tomorrow, chance of showers in the morning, and mainly cloudy, windy, and cold. A high is 48. Meteorologist Kyle Clifford from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is the Big Ten Show, brought to you by Bookmaker. Find them online at bookmaker.eu. Tweet them, bookmaker_EU, and tell them you heard them on the Big Ten Show. Sign up today and get a $100 free play. No strings attached. Check them out today for all the lines, from football to basketball to hockey and more. Check them out at bookmaker.eu. Welcome into another edition of the Big Ten Show, presented to you by Jacobson Seed Company. He's the almost famous Adam Carriker. I'm the much less famous Jeff Turn, and I don't need no stinking water to get ready for this debate. I got all kinds,
excuse me.
I got all kinds
Pardon
of
me.
bullets ready to go for Adam Carriker. Adam, first of all, watching the Pat McAfee show. Shout out to Pat, great dude in the industry. He was talking with J.J. Watt this week.
Okay.
And they were talking about the worst bruises that they had on their body after a football game. And for some players like Pat, few and far between as a punter, do you get bruises? He had a fake field goal that turned out bad. He got dinged up. But JJ said, like, every week he was looking, they showed a picture, and I swear to God, from like his groin to his knee, his entire calf, which by the way was like the size of my waist, was black, blue, purple, red, green. It was every color in the rainbow. Do you have one that comes to mind where you woke up the next day, and it's not like ACL tear, broke your leg, but like the next morning you woke up and you're like, dude, look at my body?
Not one, because I always had bruises. Like in high school, I was the only kid who played both ways. I was quarterback and a DN, so my pads were pretty funky, huge here, tiny here, so I could throw. But I set a record for having 12 ice bags on me at one point. Now, that could be because I'm a giant pansy or because I was actually trying to hit somebody, maybe a little bit of both, probably. I don't know. I always had bruises. I would get up in the morning, especially back when you could do two-a-days, when dinosaurs roamed the earth, and you could barely walk for the first 90 minutes. And then 20 minutes later, you were out going full go again, 9-on-7, taking on double teams. So when I talk to people now, and I'm brought in to talk to teams, I talk about, especially with high school kids, like bruises are badges of honor. And I love Pat McAfee, but I don't want to hear him talk about one time he got hit in his 24-year football career or whatever it is. I don't want to hear about that. And I've already heard the story about the fake field goal, why Troy Polamalu all of a sudden went through the C gap when they'd watched film. He'd never done it before. Basically, Troy came out one time and said, it's because you gave it away before the snap, Pat. So way to go. Pat does a great job, but I don't want to hear punters and kickers talking about bruises.
All right, so let me ask you this, okay? How impressed are you that I took a punch from the head? What the hell is that?
Math is easy, even for guys from Miami. X, it's right there.
We are talking. This is a Big Ten show. We don't talk about Miami.
For you.
we don't talk about Miami on this show. It's the Big Ten show, Adam. You know that. They're in the ACC.
Praise the Lord. Okay.
So how much street cred do I get that I've taken a punch twice from the then heavyweight champion of the world, Deontay Wilder?
Okay.
I sent you.
I need more context. There's a story behind that.
I sent you the video. Check your phone right now. Scroll to the 23-second mark. Actually, go to 25 seconds, because at 23 he's taking off his rings and he's about to punch me. But you just scroll up to about probably second 25. If you guys Google Deontay Wilder, WBC heavyweight champ, punches Jeff Turn, you can find this. I did this voluntarily for no amount of money. You made this.
Is that supposed to make it better? Okay, I'm watching it right now, dude.
He's watching it right now. For those at home, you guys can find this on YouTube. Deontay Wilder is by far the biggest human I've ever let punch me in my entire life. He was wearing like a nice dress shirt at the time, so he wasn't like lathered up. He wasn't fully lathered up. Are you to the point now where he punches me? Are you? Where are we at here on the punching? But yep. I took it like a champ myself. And I think no matter what bruise you had in your life going up against those pansies from the NFL, until you take a punch from Deontay Wilder, the WBC heavyweight champ of the world, you really ain't got nothing on me, man. King Kong ain't got nothing on me. All right?
Okay, so we're going to break down this punch. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to go check it out. All right. First of all, it's in the arm, not in the face like I was imagining and rooting for. And he does not wind up at all. It's literally like this right here, like he's knocking on the door, and you fall down into a chair like he hit you with the Louisville Slugger. Jeff, I love you and I got respect for you. I don't know that this helped your street credit. I'm gonna be honest with you, man.
I will tell you. The next day, his knuckles were bruised into my arms.
No, they
Yes,
weren't. You're full of crap, dude.
So I had this shtick on my local show. Every time we'd have a UFC fighter on, I'd let him punch me in the arm. All right.
Okay.
Chuck Liddell has punched me. Conor McGregor, all the big names have punched me over the years. But there was one dude, he was a flyweight, and I was going out of town, and I was going to be going to the beach, and I didn't want to have bruises on my body because I look so good. I asked him to just punch me in my leg. The dumbest thing I've ever done. Punched me in my calf. Not only did I have a bruise, I had Charlie horses for the next week. Take it like a man. Put it in your arm.
Oh, the calf's going to be worse than the arm because you got to walk on it. Everything you just mentioned. We got to work on your definition of punch. It looked more like a slug bug is what it looked like, dude. Like he saw like a red little slug bug and he said slug bug. No, dude,
he didn't punch Tyson Fury that hard. Beating Tyson Fury.
Hey, don't let the facts get in the way of a good story, man. We're just gonna run with it.
Not punch Tyson Fury that hard. He looks gonna run with it. All right, man. The Big Ten Show presented to you by Jacobson Seed Company, jacobsonseed.com. Now we got all that out of the way. Adam, what we're gonna do today? We're gonna look at some of the matches that are happening this weekend throughout the Big Ten, and you have your power rankings. And I want to start there. Last time we did the power rankings, I had Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State all sitting there in the top three. And we sort of said, after that, you could kind of, determine where you are. I did have Iowa at number 4, big win for the Hawkeyes again last week, controlling their own destiny in the West. But where are you at? Let's start with your power rankings at the bottom and work our way to the top.
We got to work up.
Hey, this is Solomon Wilcots, host of the Believe in Bengals podcast. When I was a safety for the Bengals, I used to get free field-level tickets to every NFL game I played in. Did you catch that? Rewind that back. Now that I've retired from the game, I turn to the Game Time app for last-minute ticket deals on NFL tickets, concert tickets, and even theater tickets. And since I have the Game Time app, I can decide to buy my tickets between reps at the gym, while I'm in line for coffee, and if my cousin shows up uninvited, I can still buy him a ticket up to an hour after the event starts. You know who you are, cuz. Me? Just download the Game Time app and use the code BELIEVEFB for $20 off your first purchase. That's BLEAVFB. Restrictions do apply. Visit GameTime.co for terms. See y'all at the game.
With Sotyktu for moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, you could show off your skin again. And you know what that means? Beach day. As a TYK2 inhibitor, Sotyktu is the only once-daily pill of its kind for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Ask your dermatologist about Sotyktu today and learn more at SoClearlyYou.com. That's SoClearlyYou.com. Sotyktu, deucravacitinib, is a prescription treatment for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from systemic therapy or phototherapy. Don't take if you're allergic to Sotyktu. Serious reactions can occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections, including tuberculosis. Sotyktu can lower your ability to fight infections. Don't start if you have one. Serious infections, cancers including lymphoma, muscle problems, and changes in certain labs have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have a history of these events, or if you have an infection or symptoms like fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you have history of hepatitis B or C, liver or kidney problems, high triglycerides, or had a vaccine or plan to. Sotyktu inhibits TYK2, which is part of the JAK family. People 50 and older with heart disease risk factors who use a JAK inhibitor are at increased risk for certain side effects, sometimes fatal. It's unknown if Sotyktu has the same risks as JAK inhibitors. Call 1-888-SOTYKTU to learn more.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Grammer. Wounded Warrior Pro own terms. No one
big and punch.org. Your definition of big and punch. Okay. And real quick, I want to go through these quick because I want to talk about Wisconsin, Oregon, because they're going to be in the Big Ten next year. I've got
Washington, Oregon.
What'd I say?
Wisconsin.
Oh, that'd be a great game too. Oregon would win. But Washington, Oregon, because they're going to be in the Big Ten next year, and that's the biggest game this weekend. Also, I've got some interesting stats when it pertains to the Big Ten and the top 10 defenses in the country and the top 3 offenses in the country. All right, but we'll get to those. So let's go through these quickly. My power rankings. Penn State narrowly edges out Michigan at number 1. So I got Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State. Now, this is where I had to kind of figure out Wisconsin and Maryland. I wanted Maryland to look a little bit better against Ohio State. So I have Wisconsin at 4. You vastly undervalue them, my friend. Maryland at 5. And as we were getting ready to record, and I said I'm switching something, this is what I switched. Rutgers at 6, not Iowa. Iowa at 7. And my biggest mover of the week, and you can call me a homer if you want, I don't care. Nebraska jumps up to number 8, okay? After a dominating performance over Illinois. Northwestern, somehow this team that shouldn't even be winning games is number 9, okay? Minnesota, who's nowhere near as good as people pretend they are, at number 10. And then 11 through 14 was a menagerie. Michigan State at 11. Why? Because I got to put them somewhere. Purdue, same thing. Indiana's ahead of Illinois because Illinois is really, really bad.
So if we took Minnesota and Nebraska and we replayed that game this weekend,
yes,
you think Nebraska is going to beat them?
Yes, because we aren't starting Jeff Sims at quarterback. That's why we lost that game. No disrespect to Jeff, but when you have 7 turnovers in your first, you don't even finish the second game, your first 2 starts, now all of a sudden those turnovers aren't there anymore. That's a huge difference.
Okay. Nebraska, and I got to point this out because I think some people see what you were tweeting or what you were putting on Facebook throughout that game being encouraged and optimistic, and they're going, dude, you're playing Illinois. Like, what are you doing, man? Is this what we've been relegated to? Yep. Listen, you have been relegated to that. Yes. And you know what? I absolutely love your mentality, man. Like, I'm no poking fun, in all seriousness, right? At one point, if you would have celebrated a win against Illinois and you were a Husker fan in the mid-90s, we would have all laughed at you because you were beating up on the Sisters of the Poor and the School for the Blind.
Yep.
Now you get a win like that after having turbulence this season at quarterback, brand new head coach. You lost so many one-score games over the last 3, 4, 5 years that it feels like for some reason either you have to be completely pessimistic about the Huskers or you can't give a damn. You got to be apathetic. There's no I feel like there's a portion of the fan base that is so mad about the last 3 to 5 to 10 years that they are willing to disregard any success until it's the peak of the peak again. And that just ain't going to happen in today's college football. I love the way you're approaching it, man, in all seriousness.
People are just so overreactive. Like at the end of the Michigan game, they were ready to write off the season. Now we beat Sisters of the Poor Illinois, which is an important win for us because if we don't, we're 2-4 and we just lost to Illinois. Now all of a sudden we're going to be like an 8, 9, 10 win team again. And I'm just like, what is wrong with you people? 7-5 was my my preseason prediction. I would take that. But right now, if we get to 6-6, I've said this since before the year, that is my definition of a successful season. And outside of Michigan, we don't play a whole lot of great teams. Outside of Maryland, Wisconsin, Michigan, we don't really play any good teams. And I don't care because that's where we're at. And then we can build towards hopefully 7, 8 wins maybe next year in a much tougher schedule, I might add.
100%, man. 100% agree with you on that. Let's move to a couple there at the top. You know, our buddy Bobby Carpenter, I did see unveil his top 5. He has Ohio State as the number 1 team in the country.
Shocker. I mean, okay, home cooking aside.
Okay.
Seriously?
No, my point was this. My point was this, and I'm not saying that they're number 1, but the Big Ten has emerged as the number 1 conference in the country this year. Those top 3 teams, I think on any day, if you put them in a national championship game against Georgia, against Washington, against whoever you want to pick, Oklahoma, I think that any of those 3 teams would have a competitive game. I'm not saying they're going to win, but I'm saying all 3 of those teams could play anybody in the country at a neutral site, and it'd be very competitive. So, you know, I'm with you. Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State, I'm cool with that, 1 through 3. I would like to see Iowa put some respect on that defense. Put some respect on that defense.
It's the offense that I don't respect at all. The defense is fine.
I mean, we'll see what happens now that they've, fully gone to a new quarterback with the injury to Cade McNamara. But hey, listen, I was going to go as far as their defense and special teams takes them. As much as Hawkeyes fans hate to hear this, this is the Big Ten Show. You can find us on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, the Bleed Podcast Network, and Sports Illustrated plus Bally's. Anything else you want to wrap up about your power rankings? You want to get to these matchups, man?
So the power rankings, they are what they are. I'm good with them. They're going to change every week, so I don't spend too much time on them. The interesting stats, because you bring up those top 3 teams in the Big Ten. You know who the top 3 defenses in the entire country are? Number one, Michigan. 6.67 points per game they're giving up. Number 2 defense in the country, scoring-wise, 9.6 points, Penn State. Number 3, Ohio State, 10 points a game. The top 3 defenses in all of college football reside in the Big Ten. Now, if you expand to what the Big Ten will be next year, we have 5 of the top 10 defenses because Oregon's number 5 in the country, giving up 11.8 points per game, and UCLA is tied for 8th in the country. And here's what I will say. I'm going to slightly disagree with you, and I know this is home cooking the Big Ten show. I think the Pac-12, which has been god-awful since USC, since Pete Carroll left USC about a decade and a half ago, okay, I think they're top to bottom unequivocally the best conference in the entire country this year. And you start to look at some of the top offenses. Okay. Where did that go? Jeff, what'd you do with it? I had it. Oh, here we go. Okay. So, and I discovered this throughout doing some recon for Oregon, Washington, but I'm just gonna go through the top 3. The top 3, number 1, USC, 51.8 points per game, offense in the country. Number 2, okay, is Oregon. Lost my thought there. 51.6 points per game. Number 3 is Washington at 46 points per game. So 2 of those 3 teams are going to be in the Big Ten next year. So you look at the Pac-12 scoring, you look at the Big Ten defense, you look at what the teams that are joining the Big Ten next year. It's exciting, man. It's exciting to be a part of this conference. I think even more so than the SEC, despite they're the NFL of college football, because we're actually a national conference where they're very, very regional.
All right, man, let's talk about that Oregon-Washington game real quick. They will be in the Big Ten sooner rather than later. Oregon's a 54.8% chance to win this game over the Huskies, but this game is being played at Husky Stadium. It'll be the site of game day this weekend on ESPN as well. But if you look at the odds don't match up with ESPN's analytics because Washington at home is a 3-point favorite. You mentioned the numbers as far as points. They're expecting a lot, the total 67, and this one a little cloudy, 54 degrees. Kickoff at 2:30 Central Time on ABC on Saturday. I think we get a lot of points in this one, but I will tell you, I'm going a little bit of homerism here. The head coach of the Washington Huskies is one Kalen DeBoer, who coached in Sioux Falls, is from our area, and we've seen his meteoric rise from coaching the University of Sioux Falls all the way up to the Washington Huskies. And I think that this team has more grit defensively. I think they're going to be able to get some stops. Oregon's going to be able to score. But I like Washington in this one, man. I think for Washington, they have to be better rushing the football to control the tempo of this game a little bit against Oregon because they only average like 120-some yards rushing per game. While it's more of a balanced attack for Oregon, they're very similar in yards per game, but Washington's so heavy with Penix in that passing game. Almost 450 yards per game through the air. It's astronomical. I'm taking Washington. Who you got in this one?
So this is going to be tough for Oregon because at home, in Washington is tough to beat. It's a rowdy, raucous stadium there. I've been in that place. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Puget Sound right there. It's also a rivalry game. Like, I don't think people understand how much Oregon fans hate Washington, and it's vice versa. Probably about 60-40 Oregon to Washington, but this is a rivalry game. Washington's at home. Honestly, 67.5 points seems low to me. I'm just going to be real with you. That seems kind of low. Okay. You look at my score prediction, and I'm barely going to give you the over, though, once I actually did the prediction. As you mentioned, the Huskies have the top passing offense in the country, 446 yards per game. The Ducks have the 3rd highest scoring offense in the country, as I mentioned earlier. I already kind of gave some of those analytics. Washington is number 2 in the country. But here it is for me. Michael Penix Jr., sorry. Basically 2,000 passing yards on the season. He's basically got the 2nd best stats in the country right behind Shedeur Sanders. 16 TDs, 2 INTs, a legit Heisman Trophy candidate, 1st-round draft pick. Bo Nix, in his 84th year of eligibility, isn't doing half bad. In fact, in his last game, 290 pass yards, 4 TDs, no touchdowns. Okay. I think the difference is not only the run game. Oregon is more physical up front. They can run the ball better, but the defensive side of the ball. And what makes me nervous is that this is in Husky Stadium. That makes me nervous. But Washington is the 28th best defense in the country. Oregon is 5th. That's why I'm picking Oregon. They're more well-rounded. They play better defense. Not uber confident because it is a road game for the Ducks, but I'm going to go Oregon slightly in the over. Okay. 38, Washington 31.
I'm going with the odds. You're going with the analytics. We'll see what happens between those two future Big Ten teams. All right, let's get to the Big Ten slate for Saturday, October 14th. We are not talking about Massachusetts and Penn State. Sorry.
I have notes.
No, dude.
Here's what I wrote. Penn State, trap game, question mark. They've got Ohio State next week. No, this is ridiculous. Nittany Lions score a lot. UMass scores a lot less. And also, random interesting side note, Penn State is number 1 in the country in time of possession, holding on to the ball 36 minutes a game.
If Penn State players were required to take 4 shots of Patron as they walked onto the field, they'd still win this game, okay?
Trap game, watch out.
No, they would murder Massachusetts, man. Like, this is brutal. All right, Michigan and Indiana, that thing is going to be a blowout too, right?
Oh, but we're going to talk about this game. Oh, okay.
I just throwing it out there. That thing's going to be a blowout, right? Like, we can skip
notes here. Yeah, Michigan's a 33.5-point favorite. Over under 45.5. Michigan 6-0. Indiana 2-3. All right, as I mentioned, Michigan is the number 1 defense in the country. I'm going to take the under. Not close. Michigan 38. Indiana 7.
It's kind of deja vu from a week ago for Ohio State. About a 20-point favorite. They ended up covering last week, figuring out a way to score a lot of points there down the stretch. They are the same favorite again this week on the road against Purdue. You mentioned, watch out, trap game, Penn State coming up against. Is this a trap game for Purdue and Ohio State?
So in all seriousness, I have Purdue as what? The 12th best team in the conference, is Ohio State 3rd best team in the conference. But I do have upset, trap game alert. Purdue is that school in the conference that is known for upsetting big name teams. They're known for pulling off that upset when they're significantly outmanned, but they've done it against Ohio State in the past multiple times. Ohio State 19.5-point favorite. The over-under is 15.5. Okay, now Ohio State won 37-17 over Maryland a week ago. I kind of thought that game would be a little bit closer, but the Buckeyes defense is legit for a change. Yep. All right, Purdue, bad loss to a just god-awful Iowa team, 20-14. God-awful, Jeff. That's for you. All right, now here's my prediction. Either Ohio State just completely steamrolls them, or Purdue pulls off the shocking upset. There's going to be no middle ground. That being said, Ohio State wins by 3 TDs.
Here's a line that's a little bit shorter. He's Adam Carriker. I'm Jeff Turn. This is the Big Ten Show presented to you by Jacobson Seed Company, your healthy hybrid advantage for your fields. Rutgers and Michigan State. Rutgers -4.5 in this one. I expect this to be low scoring, mainly because I think both these teams are going to turn the football over a little bit. They've been prone to throughout the year. Coming from the great state of New Jersey in Piscataway at SHI Stadium, you got the Scarlet Knights hosting Michigan State. Michigan State trying to get their first Big Ten win of the season. Do they do so against Rutgers?
Rutgers 2-point favorite, over under 41. I have Rutgers. I think it's going to be a close, hard-fought game. I think Rutgers is a pretty good team. Okay, that's why I moved them ahead of Iowa right at the last second before we started recording in the power rankings. So I think Rutgers, great, close, narrow game, 24-21, gets the victory here.
All right, man. So Illinois and Maryland. Maryland bounces back this week, right, with the big performance offensively. They blow out Illinois. You watched a lot of Illinois last week. They're 0-3 in the Big Ten this year. I think one of the more surprising disappointments throughout college football, considering what they had a year ago. Although some of us, like myself, sort of predicted this might happen with what they lost to the NFL on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, their cornerback that's playing for Seattle right now, dude, is just awesome. So I think Maryland bounces back big time here. Spreads 14.
Here's what I wrote. Maryland is a good team. Illinois is a bad team. The only hope Illinois has is that they have an extra day to prepare. Okay, they have 8 days because of the Friday game versus Nebraska. Does Maryland have a letdown after not playing a little bit better against Ohio State? I say no. Maryland, not even close, 42-14 with the win.
Final, man, we got about a minute and a half left to go in the Big Ten show. Iowa and Wisconsin. And I know you're going to come out here with some cockamamie answer about how Wisconsin's so much better offensively than Iowa. They're going to come out here. They're going to beat up on Iowa. It's going to be such a – listen. Yeah. This isn't Dumb and Dumber, okay? And we're saying we're having a chance because the analytics give us a 34% chance to win. Camp Randall, be overrated lately. I think it's going to be ground and pound with a little play action. Mordecai gets lit up. He has as many turnovers as he has interceptions to this point in the year. 3 turnovers for the Wisconsin offense. Big time game for the Iowa offense. They win outright as 9.5-point favorites. Y'all sleep on the Hawkeyes, and what happens? You get kicked in the face.
You're just being stubborn with your preseason prediction. By the way, they're 9.5-point underdogs. And is this the lowest over-under of the year, 36.5 points for this game? I mean, that's got to be the lowest over-under of the year. So here's what I wrote. You're actually on track. If Iowa wants to win, they got to force Wisconsin to throw. Tanner Mordecai is not going to win you a ball game throwing the ball. So if you can force him to throw, if you're Iowa's defense, you got a chance. Also, you got to force turnovers. You're just not going to score a bunch of points in this game, offensively anyways. So I just went straight to the numbers in this one, okay? Wisconsin's defense giving up 18.4 points per game. Iowa's offense, sorry, baby Ferentz, you're only averaging, you're 105th in the country in offense, scoring offense, averaging 21.8 points per game. You're on your way to getting fired. Probably not, but we'll delve into that again. Iowa's defense, 16.3 points per game. Wisconsin's offense, this is the difference, 31.4 points per game. Wisconsin wins, and it's not really that close in the second half, 24-10.
Adam is a very smart man, except when he predicts against Iowa. The Big Ten Show can be found on iTunes, Spotify, Bally's, SI.com, Believe Podcast Network, and, of course, on YouTube. Another edition is in the books as another page has turned here on the show. Enjoy all the Big Ten action this weekend. We'll check in with you sooner rather than later. Thanks to Jacobson Seed Company for another great show.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Something spooktacular is happening at Bonsall Pool and Spa. From now until October 14th, visit the Bonsall Spooktacular sale to take advantage of this great cash and carry offer. $400 off all in-stock free-flow spas. Also, customers can take 10% off spa chemical and spa cover orders. Stop by today at 3201 Pioneers Boulevard to take home your free flow spa today. Bonsall Pool and Spa, also online at bonsallpool.com.
If your car has sent you to the sidelines, Eustace Body Shop can help. With gold-class certified technicians, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop is your best choice this Husker season. And with 6 locations across central and eastern Nebraska, we've got you covered, whether you're rooting at home or you're headed to Memorial Stadium. Get a free online quote at EustaceBodyShop.com, and let's get you back in the game.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Hay harvest is a race against time. Order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower to harvest your hay quickly and efficiently while promoting quick dry down for high-quality hay. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location for full details on a new self-propelled windrower and experience the Landmark difference.
Leaves are falling and the temperatures are cooling down. But don't put your golf clubs away. Double Eagle Golf makes golf leagues and events possible year-round. Leagues are underway with winter leagues beginning on November 27th. Check out their deals on monthly memberships and schedule your Husker watch parties, birthday or bachelor parties, corporate and team outings, or just a good old Saturday with the boys. That's all at Double Eagle Golf, inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Book a tee time today or learn more at Double Eagle Golf.
Hockey is back, and we need your support at the Icebox. The defending Clark Cup champions are coming to the capital city as the Stars host the Youngstown Phantoms this Friday and Saturday at the Icebox. Don't miss College Night on Friday and your opportunity to catch this cross-conference clash. Lock in your tickets to the action now at LincolnStars.com.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone, and here with me is Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I know the new Honda sales are going really good right now at Honda of Lincoln, and with that, a lot of fresh trade-ins are coming in. Can you tell our listeners about your pre-owned selection?
I'm happy to, Charlie. Like you said, with new Honda sales going very good, we have a lot of fresh trade-ins coming in daily, and not just Hondas. We have just about every maker model you can imagine, with over 100 pre-owned and certified pre-owned to choose from, and prices starting at just $5,900.
Wow, what about financing?
We have financing as low as 3.29% APR on certified Accords and CRV.
Thanks again, Andy. People love the selection and great service at Honda of Lincoln. Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
October is full of sports, with football and volleyball reaching midseason and basketball and winter sports starting up. All the excitement of the games brings major stress, and stress causes tight muscles and pain. It's time to call the Body Shop, your place in Lincoln for all types of massages: deep tissue, hydrating, sports, Swedish, hot stone, aroma, and more. And don't forget about their couples massages. Eliminate the pain from sports watching stress today with a massage at the Body Shop at 48th and A and online at thebodyshoplincoln.com.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and